Hello and welcome to my channel. I have here a 3D printed UFO model from Cosmic Prints. This one is based on the Rendlesham forest incident from the UK in 1980, and I'm going to create a little diorama to recreate that incident. This is a pale air print, so the layer line is quite visible, so I gave it a once over with a sanding sponge. Then using some putty and a wet finger, I cover the whole thing. After a good sanding, this should leave it with a nice smooth surface. You have to be careful not to use too much pressure or you'll gouge out the putty from between the layer lines. The sanding stick is quite good for that, as it will only skim over the surface. And once everything's fairly smooth, I'll give it a once over with the grey primer. Then we give it another sanding pass and get it even smoother. And this is repeated for many times as needed. After this step I spray paint it black, and this will act as an undercoat. Since the base is going to take a little while to dry, I need to make a start on that. So I cut out a piece of PVC board, make sure it fits the saucer, a couple of men and some trees. And then for the ground texture, I mix up some sculpture mould. This is then slapped on and spread across the base. This starts off very wet and runny, but it doesn't take long for it to start to solidify and it becomes easy to work with. And then I can start to smooth it out and make it look a bit more presentable. This can be put to one side to dry for a couple of days while I continue to work on other things. I gave the UFO very light sanding just to smooth it out just a little bit more. Then I gave it an all over spray with some gunmetal, and this will also give it a nice shine. It may not be obvious on camera, but I'm dry brushing some silver on the symbols. The paint will catch along the edges and make them a little bit easier to see. Now we're going to need a couple of soldiers, and I quite like the look of these two at the back. I couldn't find anything from the correct time period, but hopefully I can get away with this. There's no real instructions on the box, but thankfully each figure is contained within its own little square, so at least I know I'm working with the correct set of arms and legs. So get them clipped off and cleaned up. If you don't remove the sprue tabs, it might stop your part from lining up correctly. Then I get all the parts assembled and glued together with some Tamiya cement. And once they both become whole, they'll look something like this. These are 1 in 35 scale, which is a good size to work with, because the last thing we want is these guys looking too small compared to the UFO. The next step is to get them primed. Colour wise there's nothing much to it. There's the flesh, green for the tunics and black for the boots. And then to top it off, I gave them both a light grey dry brush, and this brings out all the creases in the uniform. Then I spray them with a matte sealer and move on to the base. For the base colour I use some cheap brown acrylic, and then dab it all in with a big old brush. This way the markings are random and there's no brush strokes. As for the edge, as per usual, is painted black. I've picked up a bunch of tall model trees to create the forest. I just need to mark out a few random locations and drill out some holes. I have to bear in mind to leave space for my two soldiers. My glue of choice is Gorilla Glue, as this will expand and hold firm. And once all the trees have been slotted in place, it should look something like this. And the next step is to work on the forest floor, which is going to be mostly dirt, rocks and some scattering of grass. So first I need to add a copious amount of PVA glue. Then I need to use a brush I don't care about to spread it about, because it will be pretty much destroyed after this. I do this in sections so the glue doesn't have a chance to dry up on me, and I go ahead and sprinkle on some dirt texture all over the glue. I repeat the process till the whole board is covered. Wherever the board is still wet, add some other scatter. This includes stones, leaves, bark and grass. I tried to keep it all random and natural, bearing in mind that the space is going to be covering a large portion of the centre. And to ensure that everything stays permanently affixed, add some watered down PVA. And now this needs to be put to one side to dry for a good 24 hours or so. And now the UFO can land without any hassle. I also need to work out where the two witnesses are going to go, then I glue them into place. It still needs a little bit more time to dry, but otherwise this diorama is complete. The actual incident took place in the early hours of the morning, and it took place over several nights just outside the US Air Base. The story is quite an interesting one and has multiple witnesses, so it's well worth checking out online. Plus the forest is also home to other supernatural activity. Oh, and by the way, all the evidence captured by the servicemen was confiscated and never seen again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.